At the beginning of this section, we started talking about functions in general, and then we got into the sum function. And I mentioned early on that we're going to start out by doing things the long way, right? First, we really started out by building a calculation that was like this cell plus this cell plus this cell and so on. And that was very time consuming and potentially full of errors if we accidentally missed a cell or included too many cells or mistyped something, right? So it was a very long and tedious process. Then we brought in the sum function that streamlined it, but we still went about it the long way. I went into a cell, I went to my formulas tab, I went into math and trig, and I went and found the sum function. It brought up the arguments window, we filled it in, I hit OK. You know, we went through 6, 7, 8 steps in order to get that sum completed. Well, that's great, and we learned some key aspects along the way, but I want to streamline it even more. Now that we got a good understanding of functions, at least at the basic level, we can now start to use shortcuts. Let's take a look at a feature called AutoSum. I want to automatically sum up a range of cells. One button press, done. And I'm going to give you a couple of ways to do this. So first, I know we just did a lot of work here to set this up and get all those formulas in, but I'm going to have you delete some of it. So I'm going to grab cells B9 to E9. I'm going to hold down my control key on my keyboard and I'm going to select E4 to E8. So that's your control key and it allows you to select a group of non-contiguous cells, non-contiguous rows or columns of cells. That was my control key. I'm on a Windows machine. If I remember correctly, and I got to jog my memory because I don't work on a Mac all the time, but I believe you hold down the command key on the Mac to do that, to be able to select a non-contiguous group of cells. If that's not correct, jump into the comment section, let me know, and I can go and figure that out for us. I got a Mac sitting right next door to me, so I can jump over there and look as well. But I believe it's control on the Windows, and I believe it's command on the Mac. Either case, let's select them. Let's delete them out of there. Don't want them right now. We got some errors. That's all right. Those are going to come back. We talked about that earlier. So now I want to sum those back up. We saw the hardcore math approach, this plus this plus this plus this. We saw the function approach, which added a little more streamlined efforts, made it a little more efficient for us. Now let's see the AutoSum. So I'm going to click into the B9 cell. I'm going to go to my formulas tab. And on the left, we have the AutoSum. Now, if I just click on the big E button, the sigma symbol there, it'll do it for me. Look at that, B4 to B8. Didn't include the date. Great. I'm going to hit my enter key, and I'm done. I could even select a range of cells. Let's grab all 3 of those empty cells down there, and I can hit the AutoSum button. Again, formulas, AutoSum. Look at that, 1700, 1750, there's my 0, there's no cells right there. Let's just confirm this. C4 to C8 looks great. D4 to D8, great. And I'll double click E4 to E8. Look at that, AutoSum does it all for me. I got those errors in there. That's all right, that's at adjacent cells, I'll just ignore that. I'm gonna come over here, I'll use the AutoSum. Now, this is one of the reasons why I like to start at the basics first. We're about to see something here that could potentially throw an error in your calculations, utilizing a more automated approach like the AutoSum. Take a look. I'm inside of E4. I want to get a total for rent across each of the months. Well, great. I'll go up to formulas, hit the AutoSum, and look at that. Sum B4 to D4, got all 3 of the values. Great, right? That's awesome. Hit my enter key, done. I'm going to go hit the AutoSum button again. Looking good. Got my B5 to D5, all 3 values for phone across each of the months. Now, Excel, it's a very smart, very intuitive application. But sometimes it tries to assume too much, or it relies on its default settings to accomplish a task for us. And we need to be aware of what these defaults are, especially when we're automating a process through a single button press. If I hit my enter key here, great, there's my 350. Now watch this one. How does Excel know which numbers we want? Well, it's based on the default behavior. I'm inside of E6, credit card for the 3 months. Formulas, AutoSum. What do you think? It did it. It did the sum equals sum E4 to E5. Well, that's not what I want. I want the credit card values. Right? I mean, come on, Excel. Don't you know what I'm doing here? Right? And again, it's a smart application, but it has some limitations and it has some defaults that are built into its behaviors. So this isn't a big deal as long as we're aware of it and we recognize that something went wrong. So all that we need to do is instead of E4 to E5 is I'll go click and drag the proper range of cells. Hit my enter key, done. Let's try it again. AutoSum, Excel, you got it wrong, not a problem. I'm just going to grab the correct range of cells. And let's do this one more time. Grab that, formulas, AutoSum, incorrect, grab the proper range, enter key, and I'm done. It's your AutoSum button. Complete them all, get it done, single button press, be able to sum up a range of cells. If it's wrong, not a big deal. Just go correct it, give it the correct range of cells, and you're done. So try this out. Go through, delete out the totals, and repopulate them. And just for kicks, if you want some more practice with that button, you can also delete all of the min, max, average, and counts out of there. Go up to the AutoSum button. It's actually got two pieces to it. If I click on the lower half, I've got average, the count function, which is count numbers, remember that one, and max and min in there, all through my AutoSum button. So try that one out, complete it. I know you've done it a couple times, but now you've got a nice little shortcut. All right, just complete that, and then let's jump into the next lecture.